You've been working for a company for 5 years, pouring your heart and soul into it, and you wake up one day to a phone call. Teams, as soon as you wake up, you wonder, what is that phone call? Why are they calling me so early? So you jump on, still in your pajamas. You haven't even brushed your teeth yet. And the first thing you see is your boss in HR. Scott, we need to talk to you. And you think to yourself, talk to me? You already know what direction this is going in as soon as you saw the lady from HR, but you still have a little bit of curiosity. Okay, what's up, guys? How y'all doing? Unfortunately, we've come to the decision that the company cannot afford your services. We're going to have to let you go. First thing you hear in the morning as soon as you wake up. And you think to yourself, you know what? I've been with this company for 5 years. I didn't see this coming. I really bought into the whole idea of being part of the corporate family. I really believed them. So you say, damn, okay, you caught me off guard on this one. But to make matters worse, and without your consent, they add one more clause. We're not going to fire you immediately. This is where it gets interesting. We're not going to fire you immediately. We need you to train your replacement.
Mama!
We need you to train your replacement. There's going to be a series of Teams calls scheduled where you're going to meet up with your future replacement and you're going to train them. I need you to show them everything you've done in the last 5 years so that when you're not here in your absence, they're able to continue running this project efficiently. What will you do? What are you doing? Are you agreeing to that? Are you disagreeing? Are you rebelling? Are you cursing them out? Are you leaving? True question. Because this is what happened to me yesterday. This is what happened to me yesterday. And the only reason that I did not fight back or say anything is because HR literally held my severance package over my head. They didn't directly say that if I don't train them, I won't get the severance, but it was implied, heavily implied. So what are you doing? You tell me in the comments right now, what are you doing if you get let go from a company where you are making mid six figures? You've been there for 5, almost 6 years, busting your ass every single day to get everything done. You've managed the team. You've made sure a project that generates millions of dollars, not thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, succeeded, got released to the public. There's consumers using it. The entire company is benefiting from the revenue of the work that you've done almost single-handedly. Because not only did you start off the project, but you also gathered the team members and also helped them succeed. And then you're let go at the end of this process. This is one of the things. Look, if you're a developer and you're locked into a company and you're working towards a release of a product, always keep in mind once that product is done and it's released to the public and you go into maintenance mode, there's a big chance you might get let go. You might get used and abused, brain drained, and then let go, because that's what happened here. That's exactly what happened here. We did all the work. We released it to the client. They made millions of dollars. Things slowed down. We start doing maintenance work. And the company looks at their finances and says, you know what? We don't need all these guys. We don't need, especially not this guy who's making so much money. We don't need him anymore. We already got the project done. We already got the revenue. We can cut him loose. But not only do they cut you loose, cutting you loose is understandable. I'll give them a pass. As a business owner in the past, as an entrepreneur, as a person who's very business-minded, I can see why you would cut the dead weight at that point. You don't need that many people to maintain a code base for a project that's already out in the wild. That's not the problem I have. The problem I have is when you ask the person you're letting go to train their replacement. I literally feel like, and excuse the reference, guys, this might be a bad reference. Whenever you see these hostage videos where they have the hostage digging a hole, the terrorists have him digging the hole already. He's digging the hole. When you're digging that hole, you already know what's coming next. You already know what's coming next. And it's exactly what happened with me. They have me digging the hole. I'm on the clock right now. Literally right now, I'm on the clock. There are people blowing up my teams, asking me for advice, asking me for credentials, asking me for passwords, asking me for all kinds of information. What do? Do I give them the information nicely, friendly, with a smile on my face? Do I hesitate? Do I not give them anything at all? Do I lie and act like I don't know? Do I do all of the above? What would you do? The real question I want to know is, what would you do? What would you do when you think you have a secure career? You've been at a company for 5 years. You're respected. You've done major contributions to the project. Contributions that the project would not have been able to succeed without. You've done all of the work, and then you get stabbed in the back. The craziest part about getting stabbed in the back, if you haven't seen the video I released yesterday, is that the person who let us go, the head of HR, literally was talking to me this week about going on parental leave, because I forgot to mention something to you guys. If you're new to my channel, I have a girlfriend who's 9 months pregnant. So I was literally talking with the head of HR a few days ago about going on parental leave. He sent me the documentation. And just a mere 3 days later, we have to let you go. And under normal circumstances, if they had only let me go, I would say, you know what? Let me get a lawyer. Let me fight this, because they're obviously letting me go because I want to take the parental leave. But in my case, I can't even do that because they let go the entire team. I don't think they would let go the entire team just for one person. So I have no legal standing. I literally have no legal standing. You might be wondering, why is Scott laughing? I'm laughing because that's the only option I have. You only have 2 options in this life. Either you laugh and move on, dust yourself off, get back up on that horse and keep going, or you cry and you settle and you sink into despair. And I refuse to sink into despair. So the only thing I can do is keep on moving. But forget about that. This video is not about getting on the horse and keeping the movement going. It's not about self-improvement. It's not about any of that stuff. This video is about the brain drain. The brain drain. The corporate brain drain. If you work in corporate America and you have a good idea and you tell your boss, they will suck that idea out of you, implement it, make millions, and kick you to the curb. And when they kick you to the curb, they'll say, yo, before you leave, can you train these other 5 guys that make less than a quarter of your salary each so they can replace you? Thank you, bud. Thank you, pal. With a smile on their face. They'll throw you some pennies as a severance package and say, good luck, buddy. Have a good day. Thank you for your service. It's a crazy world we live in, a cold world. A crazy cold world where people only care about the bottom line. Heartless. Heartless. And I am not going to lie, I was offended. Today, when I joined that call, the knowledge transfer call, they should have just called it a brain drain. The brain drain call. When I joined that knowledge transfer call, my blood was boiling because I'm expected to sit here with 5 other dudes, have a smile on my face, and hand them the keys to the kingdom. The keys to the kingdom that I've built for another person to get rich. Maybe I'm a weak person. Maybe I'm a weak person. I don't know what you would do. You tell me what you would do. Would you hand over everything? Would you be an open book? What would you do? Or would you hold back reserves? Would you hold back the secret playbook? Because I'm not going to lie to you. I am very tempted, if anybody asks me anything else, to hold back the secret playbook. If you want the answers to your questions, you're going to have to call me after I'm gone. And when I say call me, I don't mean call me casually. You're going to have to call me, open a contract. And I promise you, it's going to be $300 an hour consulting fees. If you wanted to make this a seamless transition, you should have paid your employees more. You should have paid us our yearly bonuses in increments, and you should have had sessions where we could train each other as we go. But to come at the very end and expect somebody to give all the information after years of not having any of the freedom to do training or explain what's going on to anyone else is ridiculous to me. Your failure is on yourself. But then again, that goes back to the bad management of the project to begin with, right? Anybody who works in tech knows this. The people in suits, they never can get it right. They're greedy, they rush things, and they make bad decisions because they want to make money. They only look at the bottom line. They don't realize that if you get rid of the developers that created the product that you're selling, what happens when something breaks? Good luck. I wish luck to those 5 guys that I trained this morning. I wish you the best of luck. You're going to need it.
Mama!
You're going to need it. You're going to need it. And I'm not trying to wish ill will on anyone, but I hope something breaks. Good luck. Figure it out, buddy. Because for a company to call me and say, you know what? We need you to give us all the information you have. Just hang tight, buddy. Sit there, pal. Thank you, man. We appreciate your service. It's a smack across my face. It's a smack across my face. It's an insult to my intellect. You tell me if I'm wrong. Am I exaggerating here? I really want to know. Let me know in the comments if you don't agree with what I'm saying right now. Do you think that I should just be very docile and give everything up? You know, a lot of people would say, oh, well, you don't know in the future. Maybe they'll have a position open again and you'll get rehired. I don't want it. I'm not going to sit here and grovel for a position after you've thrown me away after all the hard work I've done. Now I know what kind of person you are. Now I know what kind of people you are. Why would I help you in the future? I don't want it. If they were to offer me a job in the future after I already have another job, I would take it and I would milk it. I would do nothing. I would accept the job and I would milk it. I would run 2 jobs. I'd keep my job, the new job I have, and I would take that job and I would milk it. I wouldn't do it. I would join the meetings and I would fucking pretend to work. I would stall. I would gaslight them. I would introduce, what do they call? What is it called when you add code that is bad? Anti-patterns to the code base. I would be a villain. I would be a villain because you made me a villain. And I really don't care if anybody sees this video, right? If they see this video, well, now you know how I feel. You should feel bad. I shouldn't feel bad. You should feel bad. You should feel bad because I was one of your best employees. And now I'm a villain. I kid.
No!
I kid. I'm not a villain, but I will never fall for this trick again. You know, this was my first job making over 200K a year. So I will say that I let certain things happen that probably should not have happened. You know, for example, for the past 2.5 years, they have not given us our yearly bonus, our yearly salary increase, because they said they were under budgetary constraints. And I think that any other senior developer who had worked in multiple other major corporations they would have fought back. They would have never accepted that. But since it was my first job making a decent amount of money, real money, I kind of let it slide. But I've learned a lesson. In the future, I will not do that. In the future, I will be standing up for my rights as an employee. If you agreed to something, yearly bonuses every year, then I expect my yearly bonus. And if I don't get my yearly bonus, I will be looking for a new job. The craziest part about it is that I had multiple offers from other companies that I turned down because of me being loyal to this company. And now they have the audacity to have me sit here and train other guys. I still have one more day to go. A lot can happen in one day. A lot can happen in one day. There better not be anybody calling me, asking me dumb questions on my last day of work here. And I think that some of you guys watching this video would have not stayed around for their last day. They would have left. You would have been gone. You would have turned off your computer. You'd have boxed that shit up and you'd have been done. So maybe I am a corporate simp. A corporate simp. If they can trick me into training the guys that I'm leaving. And when I say training, I don't really mean training. It's very hard for me to train somebody on a code base, on a project. What I mean is that all of the key components of the project they tried to go over, all of the credentials, signing certificates, provisioning profiles, all of that stuff was passed over, quote unquote explained. Now, I'm not going to lie, and I hope honestly, I don't even care what happens with this video. I did the bare minimum of what I need to do required. I'm not going to put in that extra mile. I'm not. I put in the extra mile for 5 years. If these guys are incapable of figuring out the project on their own, then you shouldn't have fired my team, right? If you think that they need so much hand-holding in order to solve any problem that might be on the horizon, then you shouldn't have fired our team. And asking us to train our replacements is diabolical. It's diabolical. You're asking for too much. You know, this is the reason why people lose their minds when they get fired from a job and they tell them like, "Oh, you're fired." But the person's like, "Wait, but for the last 5 months I've been training this guy." And then they find out that that guy's taking their job. This is why people lose their fucking shit. This is why people go crazy and do insane shit in America, because it's uncalled for. You don't do that. You don't ask somebody to train, to explain, to go over their role with someone who's taking their spot. That's crazy. It's insane. And if you think that the person's going to do that happily, out of good intentions and with a good heart, you're out of your mind. I might just be the exception to the rule. And even I was pulling my punches a little bit. I think that most of you watching this video would have never gone over that information. You would have called out sick, which I should have done. I should have called out sick today and tomorrow to avoid this bullshit. I have that right. I'm within my right? I have sick days. Fuck him. Fuck him. You want to be petty? I can be petty too. You're talking about budgetary constraints. Well, guess what? When you let me go, now I have a budgetary constraint, right? I got to do what's in my best interest. You let me go, now I have a budgetary constraint. I don't have time. I don't have time to be explaining stuff to you. You've already let me go. It's insane. I'm just glad that getting let go, they only gave me 2 days between the day I'm informed and the day I actually have to leave, the effective date. Because if they had given us a week or 2 weeks and wanted us to really, really train these guys on the project, I would have lost my shit. I'd have lost my severance. I'd have lost my vacation time. I'd have lost all that money because I would not have been able to do that. I'm just keeping it honest with you guys. So anyways, I had to get this off my chest. Go ahead and subscribe, turn on notifications. I stream every single day at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace. I'm out.